Alright, so this video, real quick, is just something basic and something even I personally have a bit of trouble with. So the main thing me and a lot of people who just begin the game really struggle with is people don't really know how to like do a lot of damage later on and like yeah get through the start map and then you're doing the basic health pulls and you're doing the basic missions, but once they do steel path they find themselves basically what's the best word, like I guess lost. And the problem is most of the videos that come out nowadays that try to guide you or show you what you can do to boost your damage, they're people usually like at the end of the game completely. They already have all the mods set up. They are like just literally wiping out entire rooms. And the problem with that, people are disillusioned that they can go from where they are now to just instantly like that and then jump in a setup. Most of the time, you don't see a lot of videos of people like actually displaying ways of how to get set mods or showing the routines to set up or the things you have to do to really basically set yourself up to be able to keep experimenting. Because the main thing with leveling up and doing damage mods and all that stuff is you need to experiment. You need to find out what works. You need to find out what works best with you. You need to find out the best method metas, all the mods, everything, and then you need to understand the basic like understanding all the game, all the mechanics, all the damage multipliers, how it works, the mods. It's a lot for somebody to take in just beginning. So I just want to make basically a simplified and easy to understand way to understand how to actually like bring yourself up to not like super god like level damage, but enough to be able to actually get a grip understanding to be able to go on your own and then find out what eventually suits for you, and then you'll be able to get understanding. A perfect example I can give in the simplest way for a perfect weapon that you really don't have to do much for, just reach level 3 with the hex, which I say not I say I retrospect what I just said because you have to get to that part of the story. Anyway, this gun, the build I'm going for, which is just all crit, which is something that a lot of people go for, is really easy, really not hard to fucking, I can't say fucking, not really hard to really mess up and not understand. And one of the main things you really want to do after you complete the star chart, okay? That means completing at least one time every mission on the map. Like all the planets, all the mission notes, everything. That's when you're gonna be able to unlock arbitration. That's when you're gonna be able to unlock seal path. The first thing you should really do, if I'm not wrong, is I think it's arbitration. Hope I'm not wrong. That gives you galvanized chamber. Not all the videos always say galvanized chamber, galvanized this, galvanized that. You want to collect all of them, not just simply for like the maximum like damage efficiency for a specific weapon, just for a case that the weapon you decided to invest a lot of time in turned out to be dookie. You can fall back and do something else. Maybe you want to do a primary, maybe you want to do a pistol, maybe you want to do a sword. There's a lot of things you can do. Now, the main thing you really want to do is you need to find out what specific playstyle for you're going for. If you're going for all rifle, I would suggest you do what I've been doing the past couple days is you just go in the codex and you can look in there and you can see different mods and everything, and if you have encountered certain enemies, they will tell you. If you go and look in the codex and you look at enemies, you can see like what they drop, and it will say mods, and it'll come from the drop source. It'll come from different planets, different nodes, different parts of the map. You'll be able to just keep farming that specific enemy, and that mob will eventually drop. Or you can go in the wiki and you can pull up the list of all the mods for basically all damage, all 76 of them, and then you can go and pick through every single little mod that you think would be most applicable for your setup. So personally, me, I'm going for a corrosive, but I didn't have something that was good enough. All I had was Stormbringer. If I can go over here and find my Stormbringer, all I had was 90% electricity. It's the only mod I had for electricity at the moment for my rifle. But I went and got high voltage, and it costs significantly less. So now I'm going to max out this rifle again. Then I'm going to form it to do, which format is this. I'll go in the foundry and show you. It's right here. So forma are these golden looking thing right here. They're these. You need these a lot of the time. Might as well build one. You need these for a lot of the time to build a lot of like high-end gear, or if you're doing clans, you need one former each for each room. I think more than one former if you're doing like something big. I don't exactly know. Forma is always needed a lot for forming your weapons. Forma is where you reset it and then you put a polarity on it where your weapons consume less mod slots, therefore you'll be able to really bump up your weapon. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I would not suggest using the AX52 as something you really want to go out and bid a ribbon for, which I guess I'll make a different video explaining ribbons and how you get them, how you unlock them. They're really simple, unless sometimes you get really some of the like some of the really crappy ribbons. I'm not gonna lie, some of these ribbons are really tedious in what it wants you to do. So if you come over here and you go through your mods and you go through here, where's ones I haven't locked? Kill 17 enemies that are on a drop shit during aim glide. Now you can get a bunch of mods that enhances your aim glide, so you can just literally zoom around and just use an AoE weapon to blow them up, which is not hard. But sometimes there's some things that they are really tedious that are out of the way that you just don't want to do and you don't have the time for. Me, I work all the time, so I barely have enough time as is, so I don't want to go out and doing stupid things and tedious things unless it's like really important. Like, I still need to go get my helmet. That's something that's key, okay? I still haven't even got that because I've been slacking. I left the game for a few years, came back, and a whole bunch of stuff changed, and I'm only just now being really caught up. And I've been back on for like 2 years. No, just now I'm like catching up on stuff. So, the main thing you really want to do when you first begin is do a little bit of research on the playstyles you're gonna do. Find out some type of setup. And then really look for sources in the way how the mods are going to drop. Most of the mods you should achieve and get through just a regular game from completing all the nodes, but things like Heavy Caliber, the AX52 Satsy Hexachron, Malignant Force, all those different type of mods. I don't know if they're out anymore. You might have to buy from different people in trading. Trading is this tab right here where you go through and you have platinum. You can like negotiate prices for different things and get yourself things you need in the game. I'm not gonna lie, I will show you a quick list of all my primes, which is almost every single one in the game, and you'll see that I've spent a good bit of time on this game. Starting with Ash Prime, Atlas Prime, Banshee, Chroma Prime, Baruch Prime, Ember Prime, Equinox, Frost Prime, Excalibur, Gara, Gauss, Garuda, Grendel, Hydroid, whom I really recently just got, Hildren, Muscle Mommy, Haro, Loot Master, Lavos, recent Prime Access purchase, very expensive, Cora Prime, very beautiful, don't really need to tweak her look, she just comes out very beautifully built. I don't even want to mess with her. Inaros, the biggest dog dookie prime in the whole game. Mag Prime, somebody you'll need to play with. She has very good, astonishing abilities. Mesa Prime, cowgirl Western woman, ruler of the West. Limbo, the person who everybody hates and wants to just bully and Joshua. Like, this dude is universally hated. Not gonna lie, everybody hates this dude. For no reason. I go to level him up and people are like, oh come on man, don't use Limbo. See. Oh man. We got Nidus Prime, who's looking very cool, very cool. We got Neja, the Trap, as they said when he first came out. Oops, I said it a very long time ago. Necros Prime, Oberon Prime, who is very expensive for some reason. It costs a lot of plat to get him. I think I got him when he was vaulted. Nyx Prime, got her a while ago, same user. Nova, one of my favorite ones to use. I actually have some mods I can use on her now that I'm actually to make her better. Protea, the gangster, the OG. Not gonna lie, Protea is fucking broken. Very easy to wipe out rooms and clear them without you having used much effort. If you have certain mods set up, you can actually wipe out the whole room. I haven't been able to do it, so I'm gonna do it myself. Saren Prime, Rhino Prime, Octavia Prime, who I recently got, was very hard to get, like nobody had her. After after Octavia Prime, I got Titania Prime. I got Stenax. My good old boy Stenax. I had to get that tribal skin because I'm not gonna lie, it looks very cool. I found out you can take off the tassels. The funniest thing, and it looks so weird without the tassels. So I stuck them back on. Do not ask. Do not ask. Okay. We're just gonna ignore this. Okay. You're just gonna ignore this. We're not gonna talk about the two Sevigons. Anyway, we have Varuna. I can't wait for her prime. Apparently her prime is next, and I'm gonna friggin' flip. Well, not actually. No, it's not Varuna. It's Yareli's prime. My apologies. Volt prime. Made it look like a demon. Valkyrie. The crash out queen. That's what I call her. Wisp prime. The people who say the only reason why you play her is because you're horny. I mean, caked up in Mega Wednesday. It is hump day. Wukong. I haven't used him in a while. I actually need to put new mods on him. He's outdated as heck. Zaku Prime, who I actually recently used for this build. And then Zephyr. Zephyr, I don't really use. I just use her to zoom around sometimes. I really need to max all these characters out. And then I recently bought Site 09. Oh dang, that actually looks pretty cool. Forgot how to set them up. Okay. So, with this setup, I'm going for Toxin, as I said before, and the major mods I put on here, and the one I'm going to put on here, are these ones right here. So, I know I should use Hunter Munitions, and maybe Prime Shred, because Prime Shred will really like punch out the damage and make the DPS really shoot up and bump up. But what I'm going for, like, damn, okay, so I do have, you know what I could do? Now that I look at it, I could take off this infected clip and go put on exactly Galvanized Aptitude. Maybe Vigilante Armaments. I don't know. There's two different things I could do. But the main thing that I'm using right now is High Voltage. For High Voltage, I need to leave it. Hopefully with these two level ups, I'll be able to put the mod on and see how much more of a damage difference it makes. But the Warframe I'm using right now, believe it or not, is actually Vault, because I have his ability strength up to 219%, and I have, where is his mod? Shock Trooper. Shock Trooper will be able to cast an additional 100%, and with more ability bonus to the shock I have, more basic damage I do. And then if I swap out and just slam that AK and just spam my pistol and just keep like popping headshots and just use what I have, hopefully pray that the 15% chance for the 180% damage to primary top off with all the way primed up, augmented, it should proc off heavy amounts of damage. I do go against level 200s, and if I can start popping off kills and start popping up my damage abilities, I'll get up there. I'm almost at the level where you can see people just one-tapping and just wiping out entire hordes, but I can hold my own. You know, my problem was I was never able to hold my own. I was never able to complete missions. I was never doing damage. Now doing damage. Now I need to find out what frames I could use to like bump up my damage, because with my build now, with me having power drift and me instead of using steel charge, what I could possibly do is put on something like corrosive projection. Maybe instead of corrosive projection, I can put on growing power. Growing power bump me out to at least another, I'd say 25%, etc. There, right? And then there's something else I have here that bumps my stuff even more that I don't even think I'm using. What mod is it? If I'm not wrong. Oh, it's Blind Rage. Okay, to be fair, Blind Rage, that really eats your energy, I'm not gonna lie. Blind Rage is like, if you're going for all strength, for like powertrain, it's a good thing to use. But it chews your energy, so you want to have something that like kind of balance out. Okay, so with all that in mind, and with you researching everything and spending a little bit of time to look at what type of builds you want to do and builds you want to actually try out, and you've seen this like comfortable to you, and you're finding out the mods, you're finding out the metas, the setups, and you being able to play it and experimenting on it on your own, you should get the basic grasp. You know, I'm not gonna tell you you're gonna know everything. You're gonna be 100%. You're gonna be set after watching this video of mine, if you even come across it. But you're gonna understand the gradual pace between you doing nothing and then making that jump to you just wiping out rooms. You're gonna know the in between, and not a lot of people show the in between, and that's something I really urge some people to try and take some time to do, to go and show people the process of you going up, building up to that eventual like big boss frame build. But yeah, I hope that's all. I'm gonna go play the Wolf Hunt event that's going on right now. Peace.